What's up, everybody? ComixDad back for another video, and this time I'm not here by myself. I'm here with my boy, my brother from another mother, my chromosomally challenged Southern buddy, Phantom X from the For the Homies podcast, and we're here to talk about some very interesting news that came out of the most recent issue of Transformers from Image Skybound. But Phantom, let's go with you first, man. Just by the cover here, issue 30, we have Elita 1. What do you think is the reception of Elita 1 in general over the course of the 40-some odd year history of Transformers?
Well, the thing is, she only appeared like once in the original anime, and that was in the episode where the aerial bots get blasted through time, and they literally see Optimus Prime being born, and she's there, and never seen again until like the comic books. This right here, we're going to talk about just infuriates me, because the thing is, I would rather see RC get the Matrix than Lita, because technically she's a nobody in my opinion. I don't really know much about her because she's not well known.
Yeah, I mean, what was it? We were talking about that. I think over the last 10, 15 years is when people really started, Hasbro specifically, really started pushing Elita 1 as like a female character to promote with the Transformers franchise. But like, yeah, up until then, she was kind of a just barely known character, like you were saying. But Image Skybound, this current run, even when Daniel Warren Johnson was writing the first 24 issues, the story focuses a little more on her. They go back to Cybertron a few times to show like what she's dealing with leading the Autobots that are remaining on Cybertron. So like, I mean, it brought her a little more front and center in the series, which I don't mind, because it's kind of cool seeing a little more of what they were dealing with on Cybertron at the time that Optimus and the rest of the Autobots were on Earth. But this is getting to a point, though. And as you can see from the title of this article here from Cosmic Book News, Transformers replaces Optimus Prime with Elita 1 as new leader. Now, you and I talked about this the other night when I was on your podcast on the For the Homies channel. Real quick, in like 30 seconds or less, well, how would you give a brief summary of your initial reaction when you found out about this?
I think it's retarded. I think it's 100% retarded. There is no Transformers without Optimus Prime. Don't people realize when they killed Optimus Prime in the original 80s movie, it killed the franchise in America for a decade, for 10 years. It wasn't until Beast Wars before we even got Transformers back in America. Yeah, it went on in Japan,
yeah, granted,
but it totally just it killed it. It killed it here, and
no matter how much retconning they did with season 3 and season 4, like that they did not irreparable damage, but they did some serious damage with that movie that took a very long time to undo.
It was enough. It was like, so we did an episode on Matinee with the Homies. Our very first episode was the effects of the death of Optimus Prime on pop culture. Literally, they only did like one more season after his return, and they were like hinting to a golden age on Cybertron. They did this where they introduced the Headmasters and Weapon Masters, and you know, Optimus Prime, they went across the universe and found these new people that coincide with the Transformers, until all in one type deal, and it died. And literally, I mean, like a year later when G.I. Joe the movie came out, they literally were like, they were going to kill Duke off, and they're like, oh no, if this screwed up Transformers killing Optimus Prime off, what's going to happen? We kill Duke. And they literally had to change it probably less than a couple weeks before it went to theaters. This was a bad idea. This is a bad idea, because what they're doing, they're making promoting a female, a non-character that nobody really knows much about. Mm-hmm. At least I really don't know much about her. I mean, she's been in comic books and stuff before. She's literally the female Optimus Prime. She's literally the female Optimus Prime.
Well, she's Optimus's number 2. She's the woman counterpart. But as just traditional relationships and everything, she never aspired to be Optimus. She never aspired to lead like Optimus. It was more she had Optimus's back than anything else. But let's get into this article now. Following the news that Robert Kirkman gender swapped Tech Jacket in the Invincible series, the animated series, yes, that is something that happened recently as well. That is another video at some point probably. But now it's learned in Kirkman's Transformers that Optimus Prime is no longer leading the Autobots and has been replaced by Elita 1. Now, Robert Kirkman took over writing for this Transformers series out of Image and Skybound, starting at issue number 25. Daniel Warren Johnson, the crazed leftist nutjob lunatic that did the whole absolute Batman attacking ICE officers sketch for New York Comic Con back in October. He was writing Transformers from issue 1 to 24, but I give him all the credit in the world. He did a phenomenal job for the most part. Like, it captured the essence of G1 Transformers, but it was fresh enough and more grounded that, like, it was really compelling storytelling. So I really stuck with it. And even then, when Kirkman took over in issue 25, it was a nice transition. Issue 25 picked up right where 24 left off, starting with a new story arc, because in 24 we had the first big battle between Optimus Prime and Megatron, their first clash, which we can see right here. This is how issue 24 started, with the two of them just getting into it. Oh yeah, dude, it was a hell of an issue. But now we have issue number 30. She's right here on the cover, and I don't know, man. I don't know if it's because with him, with Robert Kirkman, because Robert Kirkman's one of the executive producers for the Invincible series as well. So with him gender swapping Tech Jacket, and for those of you who don't know, Tech Jacket is a male character in the original Invincible comics. Like, Tech Jacket is technology, and he's just called Tech Jacket because of the technology he has. But, like, Tech Jacket is more than just the technology. Tech Jacket is the person inside of the suit using the technology as well. And it was a very coming of age, how to be a man, masculine type of character and story. But, so I'm kind of concerned that he's gender swapped Tech Jacket in the Invincible series, and now he's not gender swapping Optimus Prime, but, like, more or less he kind of is by girl bossing Elita Prime or Elita 1 to be Elita Prime now. But let's get through more of the article now. In Skybound,
I mean, he literally cucked Optimus Prime here, is what he did.
Oh, he did. In Skybound's Transformers number 30, released last week. It's March 20th at the time of this recording. The issue ends with Optimus giving up the matrix of leadership to Elita 1, who is upgraded into Elita Prime and takes command. Now, I wouldn't say he gave it up. If you read the issue, it's more, and the article will go a little bit into it as well, but it was more that Optimus was letting the matrix of leadership decide who's going to lead, if it was going to continue to be him or if it was going to be Elita 1, because Elita 1 had issues with Optimus being leader and all that stuff. But it's a whole thing. You got to read the comics. I'm not going to spoil it, because leading up to
that's not how it works. That's not how it worked.
No, but it did make for it made for at least, like, a compelling, like, interaction between the two of them up until the matrix of leadership actually went to her. That's where it all fell off. Up until that point, it was pretty compelling back and forth between the two of them. You could kind of understand where she was coming from and everything. She's more worried about Cybertron, while Optimus is fucking around on Earth trying to save Earth from the Decepticons. So, like, from her perspective and all that. But then all credibility stopped once that matrix of leadership went to her, in my mind. But yeah, you can see this is what Optimus looks like without the matrix of leadership.
Yeah, he's Orion Pax. He converted back to Orion Pax. The thing is,
and it mentions that later in this article, but if you look right here, it says not Prime, only Optimus now. So, and they discussed that further in this article.
It would have been just easier. They could have did a MacGuffin where the damn matrix could have split into damn two, and it could, like, half of it still be with Optimus and the other half go to her. But the thing is, the matrix of leadership is the combined knowledge of every single Prime that held it.
Yep.
Literally, the only time it only can show the next chosen leader of the Autobots, like in Transformers the movie, When Hot Rod grabs it after Optimus Prime's death and it falls, what happens? Do you see the swirly light go around of Hot Rod? He converts to Rodimus Deformant because it knew he was the chosen one to lead the save Cybertron and the Transformers. Well, this is total crap.
Well, in this series, also something that happens is Optimus is very gravely damaged in a battle with the Decepticons and everything, like on death's door. Sparkplug Witwicky, Spike Witwicky's dad, he ends up getting absorbed into the Matrix of Leadership because Spike and Optimus were fused because Spike was trying to, I guess he figured because the Matrix of Leadership is also very, very high potent raw energy, he figured if life source is almost like the essence and the life essence of the previous primes. So I guess in some weird way, Spike Witwicky, the kid, he was like, let me try to save Optimus, and he somehow started getting absorbed into the Matrix of Leadership, but Sparkplug Witwicky ended up saving his son by basically getting absorbed into the Matrix of Leadership himself instead, so his essence also exists inside the Matrix of Leadership along with all the previous primes.
I'm sorry. That's not how the Matrix works. That's not how the Matrix.
I know.
Works.
That was like one of the few things in the first 24 issues that I had a complaint with. I mean, because it is a little bit of continuity breaking, but at the same time, when they started this series back in issue 1. Yeah, a little is being nice about it, but also when they first started this new series, it's supposed to be a retelling of G1, so they're gonna take liberties with some things, change around some of the lore and everything. It's not supposed to be an exact one-to-one of G1 from the original cartoon or from the original comics. So,
I mean, okay, so if you ever watch, for listeners and stuff, if you ever watched Beast Wars. There is an episode where the Predacons get in there and they damage Optimus while he's still in the chair. They attack him and they damage him. And literally, the Maximals are literally inorganic and they're robots. So they're flesh, but they're also robotic. Literally, when Optimus Primal gets the Matrix to hold it to keep it safe, it literally converts him completely into a freaking robot. It literally takes a lot of his animal stuff away from him. And down there saying that people can get absorbed into the Matrix. What kind of hokey crap is this junk?
Yeah. I don't really know what went into that decision. I didn't really look too much into it. I kind of just because it was a one-issue thing. It occurred in one issue, and they never really mentioned it again for like another 7 or 8 issues, until something else happened, involving the Matrix of Leadership and everything. But anyway, the article continues as Optimus drops the Prime. The issue also makes clear that Optimus drops the Prime title after surrendering the Matrix. It's a major shakeup for the Energon universe, especially because this isn't some fake-out death or temporary battlefield loss. And you can see this is out of issue 30. Like, Elita 1 is smacking, basically bitch slapping Optimus Prime, saying you are no longer fit to lead.
She's literally doing the Batman meme.
Yeah,
the Batman meme.
She's doing the Batman lead. You are no longer fit to lead. But Optimus, now the way that these people at Cosmic Book News is wording it is saying Optimus willingly steps aside after Elita 1 challenges him over his decision to keep the Autobots focused on protecting Earth instead of returning to Cybertron. I don't say that. I don't see it as, the way I read the issue, I don't see it as him willingly stepping aside. It's him willingly letting the Matrix of Leadership decide. Which, again, I don't know.
You know the way I see that?
Yeah.
The way I see this? This is a Decepticon move. She's usurping fucking Optimus's. She's literally acting like fucking Starscream.
Yeah.
Trying to take the leadership from Megatron. She's literally Starscream.
Yeah.
The female Starscream.
Pretty much, but Soundwave superior, by the way. Shout out Junk 3PO, big Starscream fan. Soundwave superior. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much what's going on. What was that?
Dude, yeah, can't be like Starscream too. Starscream's a little bitch. But the thing is, it's like that's just still not how the Matrix works. I mean, literally, the only way that Optimus could really willingly give it over, he has to be dying or dead.
Well, neither one of those things.
Because it's connected to the host. Okay, the thing is, Optimus Prime has been the leader of the Autobots for millions of years, people. Millions of years.
But rather than continue the fight, though, he hands the Matrix over, and the Autobots split into two sides. Now, what happens there is the Autobots that are on Earth, some of them do go back to Cybertron with Elita 1, the newly crowned Elita Prime. With them, one of them takes Bumblebee's body, because in issue 1, which I thought was actually really, really interesting, in issue number 1, Starscream blew Bumblebee's head off, while the rest of the Transformers on the Ark were deactivated. So Bumblebee's been dead since the beginning of issue 1. So the theory on that is that when he goes back to the Autobots that went back to Cybertron with Elita 1, when they get back there, they're going to use whatever little energon there is there to try to revive Bumblebee, and the working theory is that he's going to be Goldbug when they revive him.
Oh yeah, so like in the Return of Optimus Prime episode 2, where Bumblebee's like completely damaged and he's rebuilt. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
But instead they decided to kill him off at the beginning of issue 1. He didn't even get a chance to activate and meet and talk or anything, which I thought was a very bold choice. And you know what? It kind of worked, because it also set the tone for the series. For, like I said, it's a lot more grounded. It's a lot more gritty. The Transformers, you actually they deal with like human-esque type of bullshit with in terms of like battlefield loss and all that stuff, and death and all that. So I thought that was a very interesting choice, a very interesting and cool, unique choice to start the series with. But yeah, Elita 1 is now Elita Prime. So according to current issue details, Elita argues that Optimus has lost sight of the Autobots' real mission by putting Earth ahead of Cybertron. After their clash, Optimus agrees that his choices may be hurting the war effort, surrenders the Matrix, and Elita 1 is transformed into Elita Prime. Several Autobots choose to leave with her for Cybertron, while others stay behind on Earth with Optimus. Here's the scene right here. So that means the Autobots are now split, with Elita Prime leading one side, Optimus remaining on Earth without the title that defined him, and minus the Matrix leadership. So this is Optimus saying a leader or the Prime title or leadership title cannot be earned; it must be chosen, or cannot be given; it must be chosen.
Yeah, he supposedly gave it to her. This makes no sense.
Down here it has him saying, "None can deny the will of the Matrix."
Technically, it's the will of Primus, because Primus is in the Matrix too. I mean, he created the freaking. Well, I still think Primus is Cybertron. I think that's still my headcanon. But Primus Primus created the Matrix. It's his spark. It's part of his spark, and it's like. It's oh my god! It's only given to worthy people that like who sacrifice or has does like the most ultimate badassery to become Prime.
Yup. Pretty much, I agree.
Oh my god. Okay, so yeah. I have a big question. I have a big question. How long before this dumb robotic female does something so stupid and it converts back to Optimus? How long will it take for her to do a bad decision and she's like, "Oh, I can't do this here, Prime, take it back"?
Well, it's funny. We'll get to that in just a second. We'll finish the article real quick. Hold on to that question now. Fans are calling out the name change problem. The change is also getting attention from fans online for another reason. As one ex-user pointed out, Optimus is no longer a Prime. A lot of Transformers fans think he should go back to being called Orion Pax, which is his original name before becoming Optimus Prime in classic lore due to the Matrix. I agree with that. He shouldn't be just Optimus. He should be Orion Pax. And people are calling that out. So therefore, they're calling out Robert Kirkman and the people working on this book, saying, I don't even know what the fuck they know about Transformers. Like down here, this dude, Jean-Paul Bartolome or whatever, you could tell people who did this know nothing about Transformers, because if Optimus Prime is no longer a Prime, he should be using his original name, Orion Pax.
And his body should convert back.
His
body should convert back, because basically the Matrix is what when Megatron kills Orion Pax in the original anime, he looks totally different. He doesn't even have the ability to transform, because technically the Matrix of leadership is a transformation cog in itself, and it literally rebuilds him into Optimus freaking Prime. That's how the Matrix works.
Yep. But it continues that the issue is not just with that, or there are more issues. The issue is not just that Elita 1 replaces Optimus as leader. It's that the comic appears to strip away the Prime identity without fully leaning into what that should mean for Optimus. As if the creatives behind the series aren't familiar with the lore, or they are, and they just don't care for the sake of, quote, diversity. Now that's what I'm worried about. I sure as shit hope that this is not the direction they're going in, but since Robert Kirkman also gender swapped Tech Jacket in the Invincible series for Amazon, I really don't know which way this is gonna friggin' go, but I hope this is not the reason why they're doing it, for girl boss and diversity and feminism and all that bullshit.
Oh, it looks like that's exactly what it's doing, because they can't have Optimus Prime. He is the male. He's literally the hero. He's the compared to male masculinity, and they say, okay, we just can't have that anymore. We gotta have a woman in there. And the thing is,
a whammon. Gotta have a whammon.
The thing is though, Optimus Prime made so many decisions. Can she do the decisions that he did? Could
no.
And look at what Optimus Prime has done. How many times has Megatron is on the verge of death, and even though they're mortal enemies, and he saved Megatron multiple times, because they are brothers, by the way. They are brothers, and it's like,
yeah,
this is bad. Like they did like a cartoon series not too long ago, where Megatron actually becomes one of the good guys, and they start treating him about.
I heard about that. Yeah,
that is so stupid.
I heard about that. This is almost as dumb. I put this on the level of, this is almost as lore breaking and almost as dumb as Spider-Man One Day More.
Oh, I hated that comic book.
That's where I see this, if they decide to keep it this way moving forward. But Kirkman is steering the new era. This is all happening in the current Skybound run of Transformers, which is now being written by the Walking Dead and Invincible creator Robert Kirkman, with art by Dan Mora. Dan Mora is doing fantastic art. Skybound, in partnership with Hasbro, took over the Transformers and G.I. Joe comic license after IDW lost it, and Kirkman has been a central architect for the larger Energon universe. This year also marks the 40th anniversary of the release of the Transformers movie, which is being celebrated by Hasbro. But yeah, it's and that's the other thing too. Hasbro is a piece of shit company where a lot of their shit, they focus on DEI and all that bullshit. So if Hasbro came to them and said, "Hey, this is what we want to see," like, they don't really, Image Skybound doesn't really have too much of a choice, because Hasbro gave them the permission to do the comic book, to do the licensing with the comic book.
Hasbro even ruined Power Rangers when they added a lesbian character in the last series that they made.
And Hasbro also has ruined Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons as well. So.
Oh yeah.
Hasbro is just fucked left, right, up, and down. But yeah, this is it though. This is Elita Prime.
Are we sure that Sweet Baby Inc. ain't got their little fingers in this crap? It sounds like it.
Maybe, but so what do you think the future is going to hold for this Transformers comic book and Transformers as a whole? And what would you like to see?
I think this is going to fail, because the fans already hate it. I hate it. You hate it. The artwork looks phenomenal. It's the fucking story that's retarded.
Yep. And it's really just in this issue for the most part. Now, we were talking about how, Sparkplug Wiki absorbed into the Matrix leadership. That happened in the first 24 issues. Like, there were some continuity issues, errors, and concerns in there, but for the most part, issue 1 to 24, and then 25 to 29, for the most part, very well written, very good storytelling. This issue, ending issue 30 like this, though, is a big red flag.
So I wonder something. Since Optimus is not Prime anymore, are they gonna have a female version of a female take over the Decepticons? Because they ain't gonna have a male fighting a female.
Well, no, they're gonna. Well, I don't know. In issue 30, there was a whole fight scene between Optimus and Elita 1 for like 4 pages. So, but I don't know. What I think is gonna happen. What I'm hoping is gonna happen. Best case scenario. In this run of Transformers through Image and Skybound, story arcs happen in 6 issues. So what I'm hoping is from issue 31 to issue 36, they show Elita 1, aka Elita Prime, trying to hold down the fort on Cybertron, trying to be a leader, kind of buckles under the pressure of being a Prime, and what that means of carrying the Matrix of leadership and everything, and then issue 36 or 37 ends up coming back to Earth, ends up relinquishing the Matrix of leadership to Optimus again. He becomes Optimus Prime again. On the flip side, what I think will also be happening, what I'm hoping for, is that we also get some pretty good character struggles with Optimus, or Orion Pax as he is now without the Matrix of leadership, but showing like a less powered version of him being his true self, or his original self, still leading the remaining Autobots on Earth, going up against the Decepticons on Earth, and Megatron. Megatron is a badass motherfucker in this series. I'll tell you what, man. He is a badass mofo. And it'll be really interesting to see, because, the Autobots being led by Orion Pax, aka Optimus without the Prime, it's going to be a real struggle for them. So I'm real curious to see how they'll write the Autobots and Orion Pax / Optimus handling that, and then if he's able to be a little creative, but also at the same time have that come to Jesus moment as well. Like, hey, listen, like this is what I'm meant to lead. I made a mistake, and hopefully Elita also has that realization kind of almost simultaneously on Cybertron. And after issue 36 or 37, it ends up getting reverted back, and then it's just one story arc of 6 issues. We got to deal with this nonsense, and that's it. Now, worst case scenario, it's like this for the foreseeable future, past 6 issues, and then Elita Prime, quote unquote, ends up eventually coming to Earth, either A, wiping out the Decepticons, or B, siding with the Decepticons, and then Optimus and the Autobots on Earth are totally fucked. But and she ends up being a huge girl boss and whamming power and all that bullshit. That's worst case scenario. And with Robert Kirkman right now, I don't know. Well, but I mean but we'll get that moving forward though, outside of like a 6-issue arc. That's the worst case scenario. And with what Robert Kirkman's doing right now, I don't know. It's hard to tell. But regardless of that, Phantom, my brother, thank you so much for hanging out. Everybody go check out the For the Homies podcast, For the Homies on YouTube. They just hit their 500 subscribers. They're eligible for monetization. Go check them out, show them some love. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it as well. And until next time, everybody, y'all have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.